This is Steve Neely, one half of the tag team, the Wild Boys, and Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
For those who don't know, now you know, baby. This is Hot Rod Biggs, Jared, Jimmy Street. We're going to take them to the limit one more time, baby, right here on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast. And it is me, your host, Jimmy Street, here as always. Welcome, welcome. Hope you all are having an awesome day. I definitely appreciate you all dropping by and checking out today's episode with us. And of course, today is our very special monthly episode this month in wrestling history with Quinton Quarisma, episode 8. And this one is covering February. So I'm really excited to hear what Quinton has got up his sleeve today. Always excited to hear about the pro wrestling history that he always brings with his episodes, and we greatly appreciate that. I hope you all are enjoying these shows as much as we are. Of course, guys, last episode we had Dr. Tom Pritchard on the show. It is always an incredible episode with the good doctor. Tom had such a storied and diverse career, from singles runs on the West Coast to tag team runs in the Smoky Mountains. I mean, his career is on par with some of the greatest, and man, it's always a blessing to get to hear more from Dr. Tom. So thanks, Dr. Tom. And of course, Tom was here to promote the Portland Wrestling Expo 2 with our buddy Captain's Corner. And that's going to be on Saturday, February 21st at the Holiday Inn Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. It is this weekend, guys. Do not miss your opportunity to be in Portland and go to the Portland Wrestling Expo. It's this weekend, guys. Time is running out. Saturday, February 21st. Be there or be square. Of course, if you are in Florida, another great event is GrappleCon 4 back to Lutz, April 11th, Residence Inn, Tampa Suncoast Parkway, 2101 North Point Parkway, Lutz, Florida. You'll get to see Jerry the King Lawler, Dutch Mantell, our former guest, great guy Jeff Van Camp, Lord Humongous. I know that Chick Donovan, our former guest, is also going to be there. Great opportunity to see some absolute legends. I think they're calling it Gimmick Mania or something. So yeah, head on down to Lutz. It's always beautiful, especially in April. Be there. Do it. Go. All right, guys, that's all I got for the open today. Can't wait to hear what Quinton has brought us, so let's go ahead and get to it. We'll be right back with This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma, episode 8 on Gimme Back My Pro Wrestling after these messages.
Hey, my name is Tammy Reynolds. I am the wife of Forsaken Rick Reynolds, that super cool guy that everybody knows and loves. And I represent West Side Sauces. I make sauces, I bottle them, I seal them, I sell them. I have a hot honey sauce, I have a sweet sauce, I have a hot sauce, I have a white sauce that's so yummy you can use it on everything. They are absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of them. We make them from scratch. So go on our website, westsidesauces.com, check out our products, read about our story, and go online and order you some of these yummy sauces. And Rick actually uses all of the sauces because he is a die-hard smoker and griller, and so he likes really good sauces and rubs, and I make them, so how convenient is that for him? Go on our website, westsidesauces.com, order you some samples, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy them. Thank you, guys. Be blessed.
Welcome to This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma.
All right, so we're in February. So we're going to go to February 11th, 1969, we'll go to Tampa, Florida. Dory Funk Jr. beat Gene Kiniski for the AWA World Heavyweight title. And this ended Kiniski's over 3-year reign. So, and I think that's I think that's maybe the first NWA title change that's on video. I want to say maybe.
Really?
It's got the ending. I could be wrong, but I know there's not the Kiniskis ain't out there. I don't know if any of Thez's are or not, and I don't think Pat O'Connor's is.
Yeah.
And I want to say I could be wrong, but that's the only one. That's the latest one I remember. So
okay, well that's good. Yeah. Good info.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, if somebody has seen another one, send it to us because I want to see if it's a different one, an older one than that.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody knows those guys. So if you don't know who Dory Funk Jr. is, Gene Kiniski, go look them up. But so we really not talk about them. We just Dory Funk was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they don't know about those two guys, man, might need to go back to the beginning of this podcast and just start all over.
All right. So we're going to February 3rd, 1989. We're going to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Bradley Center. The WWF held the WWF main event number 2. The attendance was said to be 20,000. The main event, I think this was on prime time. This wasn't Saturday Night Main Event. This was the actual one in prime time.
Oh, okay.
This was the second one. And the main event was the Mega Powers versus the Twin Towers. And this is when the Mega Powers blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing where Savage he wiped out Elizabeth. I mean, dude, I guess she had to make it look good, but man, dude, he took her out, dude.
Can you imagine the conversation he had with her before that? Okay, now look, I'm gonna be coming in hot, Can you imagine? Do whatever you do not move.
Yes, that whole thing, and then Hogan picks her up, carries her back, Lou Savage in there. I don't know about it. I could see. I'd let Hogan do the job there.
Yeah.
When Savage came back, Hogan came back, and then Savage left him, and they got on him. At least, or if they're going to put Hogan over, they should at least let Slick, go to hit Hogan with his cane or something, or Big Boss Man's nightstick and hits Boss Man or Akeem and let slide over that way instead of just straight out, just 1, 2, 3 in the middle,
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because they double team and beat on him, So, but yeah, the whole thing was the stuff in the back when the whole lust in your eyes, that classic thing. And did you ever hear? Was there a bump pad when he slung Elizabeth?
I've never heard that. There probably would have been,
man. Because dude, he slung her so hard, and I'm sure she was still hurting from getting wiped out at ringside. So
yeah, it was a rough night for Elizabeth.
She earned her money,
mm-hmm.
And so the whole thing, and so that blew up, and that was a big deal back then,
Oh, dude, that was legendary, Yeah, that was huge. Yeah. The Mega Powers, yeah.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, go look it up, man, because that whole thing at the end was great. It was really good set up. So
great storyline telling, kind of like the Cody, bloodline thing. It was a long form. They don't do that a lot anymore, Really great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was good. All right, so now we're going to go to February 5th, 1984. We're going to Mexico. I don't know where at Mexico. I just know it's in Mexico. El Santo passes away.
Oh, rest in peace. He fought all them aliens and demons and all that stuff. That's what I was going to say. He was in over 50 movies. Wow.
And yeah, he was just in Mexico. He was it, man. He was like, I think he was more over in Mexico than anybody here's ever been, I think.
So you would compare him to Hogan or Stone Cold on that level?
That's what people, and I've noticed through the years people talk, he was like their Hogan, Stone Cold, but I think he was more popular in Mexico than those guys were here. Because he was such a slick. Now he has also been, him and Hogan have also been kind of talked about where they were so over, but their wrestling ability was not. Their work ability was, but their actually technical. You know, he was the most famous wrestler in Mexico, but he wasn't the actual best.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. So it is like Hogan. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, he was in all those movies. I'm sure you can find those movies somewhere on the internet.
Oh yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go to February 8th, 1971. Going to New York. Going to Madison Square Garden. Pedro Morales beat Ivan Koloff for the WWF title, ending Koloff's almost around 2-week run.
Rough. Transitional, right?
Yeah, but his name's in the book. That's all.
That is all that matters. You are right. Good job. Yeah. That's true, though. I mean,
he's held it longer than some. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that the Vince style of putting over people? You take it off the baby face just to put it on a quick heel to put it right back on a different baby face, or maybe the previous baby face. You know?
It's because you don't want your two, like they don't want Pedro and Bruno, working each other because.
That makes sense. Yeah,
they found out later that it didn't when they went to Shea. It
didn't work.
It just didn't work. So now we're going to go to February 6th, 1977, Toronto, Canada. Okay. Harley Race beat Terry Funk for the NWA World Title, and I think Terry had about a little over a year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It might have had over a year. I can't remember the actual how many, maybe 13 months or so. I checked. It's been so long but yeah. So we had both Funks, had one winning the belt, and we got one losing the belt in this time period.
Now, are these the Funks from Florida, like Chick said? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I think Harley beat him with the Indian Deathlock, I think.
Oh, dude, I love that
want to say, I'm thinking back. I think he did beat with the Indian Deathlock, if I can remember right.
Super underrated finisher. I love that move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it went away in the 80s.
Why do you think it went away? Just the figure four took over, kind of? And
it's easier to do. The figure four is easier. And I don't know. It just one of those things that kind of just faded off. And kind of like the short arm scissors,
Yeah, I have a buddy of mine. Okay, let me tell you a funny story real quick. My old singer of my band, The Greatest, we went to see a great event in Radford in like 98 or something. And Ivan Koloff, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Primetime Brian Lee, Boris Zukov, all these great legends were there. And the singer of my band, Phil, he asks Robert Gibson to teach him the Indian Deathlock.
No way.
And Robert was like, "Oh, brother, you'd never recover.
You'd never walk again.
You'd never walk again if I did that to you."
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's good. That was. And after this, Harley already been champion, but he was one of those in between, So this was then Harley after this had a good run with it after this. So, sorry. So then we'll go to February 23rd, 2002. We're going to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to the Murphy Rec Center. ROH held its first show.
Okay.
And it's I think at one time I had like the first 2-3 years of ROH videos. On DVD at one time. Okay. This was a really good show. This show, Eddie Guerrero was on it.
Oh.
This was when he was in between gigs, I guess you want to say.
Okay. Yeah. I remember hearing about this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. He was there. I mean, you look at all the people, it's like just top guys everywhere later on that, these are all young guys coming up,
mm-hmm.
and I mean, it was just loaded. If I look back at it, it's loaded. The Briscoes, Jay Briscoe worked. No, Mark couldn't work because he wasn't 18.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mark didn't get to work the first show, but Jay did.
Man.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere. It is really good. Actually, all that first couple of years of ROH, ROH was just, it was really good. Actually, you see all the up and coming guys.
Yeah. Now, tell me on the timeline on this, did this start kind of the feeder system for what became the TNA X division? Or is this after?
This was before TNA.
So this is basically the X division, what it became, or similar to Ring of Honor's at least style.
Well, that's where that's where basically they got their TNA got their X division guys. Basically, was from Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And up in I want to say 3-4 years into it, they were letting them work both, and then they finally cut it off.
Oh,
okay.
But
they got all their guys basically from Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
kind of like how WCW rated ECW in a sense too. So
yeah, well, everybody rated ECW.
Good point. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go to February 10th, 1984. We're gonna go to Tokyo, Japan. David Von Erich passes away. Now, you hear stuff through the years. They try to say it was an intestinal thing. Then they just said he OD'd, and then they said he OD'd, and Brody came in and found him, flushed the stuff down the toilet for the paramedics and stuff got there. So, but they try to, the Von Erichs try to pass it off like he had intestinal problems and this and that. But
yeah, George said that he spoke with somebody, George Weingroff, and said that it was not that, but who are we to say, right, Quinton?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I said rumors.
Right, rumors. Yeah.
And so this, a lot of people realize this changed history, I think, because they were grooming him for the world title.
Yeah.
They sent him to Florida with Dory to learn how to work heel. And then when he got back to Texas, he started putting on size. Because when he was in Florida, he was still skinny.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was learning how to work a heel with Dory. They bring him back, and they said he was going to be next in line.
Man.
Because he had the size by then. He had filled out. They said he was the best worker of all the boys.
I believe that.
And he showed good fire, and Fritz wanted and that was Fritz wanted to have one of the boys be world champion, and that was going to be David from what all I've read over the years. So.
I mean, did that, and it changed a lot for the NWA, obviously, but it changed everything for the Von Erichs too, the world class, and really, wow, just sad. I know they had several successful years left, but man, the family, that was brutal. So rest in peace, David. That's somebody I haven't been able to see enough wrestling of, man, but I need to see more. So
it's like I said, his Florida stuff, he was really green. Like I said, he was a heel for and he's learning from Dory. I've seen a lot, but I can't really remember how good he was in Florida because, like I said, he was working heel for basically the first time. Now his stuff late at the end of Texas was good. Dallas, I remember some of it.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of it out there. You just got to search for it. But yeah, they said he was the best of all of them all around. So
just had that basketball player type build, right? Instead of Kevin and Kerry were just jacked to the gills,
Yeah, I think David was. I know they try to. Every wrestler adds 2 inches to their height, so I think he was probably about 6'4", 6'5", probably.
Yeah. Okay, that seems right. Yeah.
But like I said, he filled out the last couple of years. He filled out and was up to way over 250. He had to be at least 275 there at the very end.
Okay. And looked like Fritz.
Everybody remembers him as tall and skinny, and at the end he wasn't. So
okay.
All right. So now we're going to go to February 3rd, 1980. Now this really changed history a little bit. Memphis, Tennessee. Jerry Lawler breaks his leg playing in a football game.
Yes, I have heard this one.
Yep. I think this was about broke, almost made the company not go under, but definitely made them, what's the word I'm looking for? Not go under, but really hurt them bad.
Yeah, figure out how to survive without their number one star,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah.
If you want to hear the full story, Jerry Calhoun told it on the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Go check that out. It's crazy. And yeah, his best friend and the referee of the promotion breaks his leg. It's wild.
Yeah. Of all things. Yeah. And it was a bad break from what I remember him talking about it. It wasn't just a little, fracture. They said it was really bad.
I think Jerry tried to ban them from doing anything like that after, too. Jerry Jarrett, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't blame him. I would, too.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, then your top heel get hurt bowling or something. Who knows?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Or baseball or whatever they did. Softball or whatever.
Well, Lawler they still let Lawler do his softball stuff, but I think they kind of put the kibosh on the football after that.
Oh, yeah.
Lawler still had his little softball gimmick. No.
Got it.
So this was on the 3rd. So that following Saturday, February 9th, 1980, on TV, Jimmy Hart comes out and cuts a promo. The famous, what do you do when you got a horse with a broken leg? You shoot him.
Yep.
And then later in the episode, he crowns Paul Ellering as the new king.
Which we tried our best to talk to Paul about this, but all he wanted to do was talk Road Warriors, but for good reason.
But and so in this, they said that Lawler got mad about it, and they said when he came back, he punched Hart and broke his jaw.
Wow.
I'm sorry, dude. It's a work.
Right.
Why you get your feelings hurt?
You're saying this shoot happened. This really happened.
They said it was in a match or something, and he was supposed to, Lawler hit him hard, broke his jaw.
Wow.
They said it was true that he was mad about it.
Baby, my jaw, baby.
Baby, what you hit me for, baby? And then, they said he broke Paulie's jaw too when Paulie decided not to come off the scaffold like he agreed to do. They said Lawler broke his jaw too.
Wow.
But now the whole thing with this is like, if it was true, which everybody says it was, I mean, how big is your freaking ego? He cuts a promo to help it get over.
Right.
And you get mad about it. Just like he screwed everybody out of that Burr haircut he got that night when he's supposed to get shaved bald,
Oh, yeah. He cheated the haircut. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that always, whatever, all the stuff Lawler did good. I ain't going to get into it. Never mind. But anyway, yeah. So that was, and then they grasped for straws. They turned Jimmy Valiant babyface and Paul and Hill, and they were just grasping straws, and they were, it was crazy. They can never, when he came back, I mean, wasn't that with the one where he rose up through the stage and all that when he finally came back in December? Either that or he came on the horse. Can't remember, it was one of those. He did the stage with the horse. I can't remember which one it was, but anyway. But so, in that interview with Hart is on YouTube. Go look it up. It's hilarious. So we're going to go to February 6th, 1986. We're going to go to Tokyo, Japan. Oh, my goodness. What's the name of this place? Ragoku? I don't know. It's some building over there. Then we're going to day 27 of the New Japan New Year's Bash.
Okay.
We have Shihiro Kashinaka beat the Cobra for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title.
Okay.
He was their first champion. He won it. This match against Cobra was in the finals. Now, this was in 86. End of 88 into the mid-90s, man, the guys who held that belt was a who's who of cruiserweights. Juniors, light heavyweights, whatever you want to call them. But, I mean, yeah, so he was the first guy that got it going. And, man, you can go look at some of the New Japan's hard to find on YouTube because they take it down every time somebody puts some on there, it seems like.
Yep.
But yeah, if you can find some of that junior stuff from the late 80s up to the mid 90s, man, it's a who's who, man. great stuff. So
I'm sure, yeah, no doubt. They don't play, and to speak on what you're saying, yes, you are correct. They will take it down quickly, not from experience, but a friend of ours, a friend of the show, lost his entire channel to that reason. So
yeah, all right. And so Chihiro, I didn't realize he worked like 30 years,
man,
and he's still working today. He's still working today. For some, he actually started in All Japan. He worked CML. He was the junior champion 3 times. Cobra, a lot of people don't know about the Cobra. He was trained in the New Japan Dojo, worked Stampede. He actually left New Japan and went to the SWS Tenryu's promotion when he left All Japan and started his own promotion. He actually went over and worked. But the Cobra, yeah, he was his brother was the Black Ninja in Portland.
Oh.
The late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, his brother. His name's George something. I can't pronounce it. So, but yeah, he didn't have a real long run, but he was really good. He was really good. He probably had maybe 10, 15, maybe. It wasn't as long as some of those Japan guys, but yeah, go check his stuff out. He was really good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go to February 18th, 1985. Go back to New York to Madison Square Garden. And this is going to be the War to Settle the Score. This was aired on MTV. They said the garden was cram-packed. They said over 26,000. I didn't think they could get 20. I thought like 22 was the max there. I don't know. Then they said the Felt Forum, the theater underneath, it was sold out. The main event was Hulk Hogan beat Roddy Piper by disqualification. This was the whole rock and wrestling gimmick they started the year before, and this was where during the match, it was a short match. Cyndi Lauper gets up on the apron, then Orndorff gets up on the apron, and then here comes Mr. T. There's a big schmoz at the end. The cops were trying to break it. It was crazy, man. It was really crazy. Because it just wasn't the boys and the agents. They had the cops get in there too, and so it made it look really good. And Piper was just being Piper and it was great. This was the beginning for the setup for WrestleMania with Mr. T and all that. So
okay, yeah, definitely, that was huge. I mean, it's still huge.
They were getting on Hogan, and Mr. T came in and made the save, and that's when they just all, like I said, it was a big schmoz, all chaos, and so yeah, this was basically set up for the WrestleMania coming up, WrestleMania 1. Mm-hmm. So, man, so that's history. That's out there somewhere because I know it was on the network or 24/7, and I think it's out there on YouTube somewhere still. Go look it up. That was historic, even though, MTV, they went all in on it.
No doubt.
It was aired on MTV. So it's history. To me, I think it's history.
I love it. It's rock and wrestling. And that's the two things I love more in this world than, other than my wife and my son. So.
And I remember they did all kinds of interviews from people from MTV, not just the VJs, but I remember Dee Schneider was on one, Ted Nugent. Just dogging Piper, and I can't remember, but yeah, it was a bunch of them. They were dissing on Piper, all these different music people. So go check it out. Yeah. So now we're going to go to February 27th, 1973. We're going back to Tokyo, Japan. All Japan. This is going to be All Japan promotion, Baba's. So this is 73. So he ain't been in business in maybe 6 months, maybe. Giant Baba becomes the first PWF heavyweight champion. And the way they crowned this, they had a series of 10 matches with guys. And Baba, at the end of it, after the 10 matches, the guy with the best record become their first PWF heavyweight champion. So Baba won it. He was 8-0-2. And the two guys that he tied with, their matches were ties or draw, talking about draw.
Yeah.
Was Bruno Sammartino.
Oh.
Bruno wasn't going to do the job in 73.
No, he wasn't.
Senior sent him over there, but he's not losing. So Baba, he won it. He beat Terry Funk, Abdul the Butcher, the Destroyer, Wilbur Schneider twice, Don Leo Jonathan, Pat O'Connor, and Bobo Brazil. And that for 73, that's a who's who.
No doubt. Yeah.
So, and here's another thing: the belt that they used was the old NWA International Heavyweight title, and it was given to Baba to use by Ricky Dozan's family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool when I found that. Yeah, they said because JWA, they had the NWA connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming they left. The NWA went with Baba. I'm assuming because I know Senior went with New Japan. So I'm assuming that they gave him the belt to use, and I don't know how long he used it for. I just know that I read where the actual family gave him the belt, so that was pretty cool.
That is cool. Nice little piece of history, you know?
Yeah. We'll be right back with more Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Are you sick of the cold? Well, Captain's Corner is here to bring the heat for the start of 2026. The Portland Wrestling Expo returns to the Holiday Inn Portland Airport on Saturday, February 21st, featuring Hall of Famers such as The Godfather, Precious Paul Ellering, Ken Patera, international superstar Minoru Suzuki, and a reunion of stars from the Don Owens territory, including the Grappler, Dr. Tom Pritchard, and Chief Jules Strongbow. This is the one event not to miss in the Pacific Northwest. Then on Saturday, April 11th, we'll be presenting the spring breakout event of the year. It's Glory Days GrappleCon 4, taking place at the Residence Inn Tampa Suncoast. We're excited to present Gimmick Mania, featuring Jerry the King Lawler, the Mountie Jacques Rougeau, the Godwins, Nikita Koloff, the Shockmaster, and over a dozen other superstars. Make sure to follow us on Captain's Corner on Facebook and Instagram for updates on both of these events and much more in 2026. Cheers to the working man.
All right, so now we're going to go to February 11th, 1970. We're going to Nashville, Tennessee, the Tennessee State Fairgrounds. On that night at 8 p.m., the Fairgrounds Coliseum caught on fire and burnt down.
Oh.
And this was the night before the Wednesday weekly show that Goodless and Welch held. Now, this building, okay, they moved, I want to say 68, 67. I think it was October 67. They moved from the Hippodrome, where they ran forever, out to the Coliseum. Now, the Hippodrome was a skating rink, and but this Fairgrounds Coliseum was massive. I mean, it was huge. They used it for everything. The Shriner Circus. They used it for anytime they had any kind of weather disasters in Nashville. That was like the hub of to work, get stuff out, supplies. And it's a massive building. Loretta Lynn had her yearly rodeo there. I mean, it was just huge building. And my dad, he even told me my dad used to race go-karts when he was a kid. He even raced go-karts in the building when he was a kid.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So the building caught on fire. I mean, they said it went up in minutes. The roof, it had this big, oval roof. The roof, there's a picture. It was a cool-looking building. The roof fell in they said within minutes. Because they said you could see the flames from 8th Avenue South at Lafayette Street, which that's a good few miles, probably. Mm-hmm. Okay. They said they could see the flames up that high. They were up so high in the air, you could see not the smoke, but actual flames from where Lafayette Street and 8th Avenue meet. And Goodless, like I said, they run their Wednesday shows there. So this was on a Tuesday night. And 8 o'clock, and if this would have been a day later, they would have had a disaster.
No doubt.
So, yeah. So Nick claims he lost $8,000 to $10,000 in equipment. He lost his ring. A ring was in there, but I just don't. In 1970, that's a lot of 10,000. That's like what 100,000 nowadays, probably.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, what do you mean? I think somebody was trying to get some insurance money.
It might have been. Yeah.
It had to be 8 to 10,000. What do you have in there? A ring? The chairs belong to the Coliseum. The chairs, the bleachers. The bleachers were wooden bleachers built in. What do you have? A PA system? Yeah. I'm sure he plugged into their PA system.
Right.
So yeah, I think he was trying to get some money off that. They did a study 5 years earlier because the state fairgrounds they had in '65 it was either the night before or the first day of the Tennessee State Fair. They had a bad fire. It caught the women's building on fire. Which was the main building at the fairgrounds at the time, caught the grandstands of the racetrack on fire and some other. It was massive fire.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. So after they come in, they had somebody come in and check the Coliseum, and this group that come in and checked it said this was 5 years ago, 5 years before this fire that burned the Coliseum down. They said it was a dangerous fire trap.
Oh.
But they still kept using it for everything.
Of course they did. You know this.
So
it's not a problem until it happens, Quinton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, this was on a Tuesday night. Gillis ran on Wednesday the next night. So he actually went up and ran the agriculture building at the fairgrounds. So he still had the card. From what I can remember, the agriculture building was the building that's connected onto like the little livestock shed that it's got the seats on the side. Kind of much like a little rodeo building, but in the back side of it's connected. I want to say so that's the ag building, and it's low ceilings and everything. So they just run there 1 week. After that, I guess, like I said, I guess there was no other building really big enough at the time. I don't know, but they took off until March 4th. And on March 4th, they started running Father Ryan Catholic School out in way out on 8th Avenue, whatever 8th Avenue turns into out there. So they started running there. I don't know how long they ran there because I'll going to use it for later on when they leave there and actually go back to the fairgrounds.
Okay, so, I never knew that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. Right. I don't know if it's cool. Obviously, fire's not cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I found stuff through the years about running, running Father Ryan, but I never knew why. Then I started going when I went deep into this. I found out that's why they went out there. And the Coliseum was the first building that they actually ran at the fairgrounds. They ran, don't count the ag building, but they ran, say 1, 2, 3. There was 4 buildings they ran, the main buildings at the fairgrounds. The Coliseum was the first one.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
All right. So now we're going to go to February 20th, 1978. Going back to New York to the Madison Square Garden. Bob Backlund beat superstar Billy Graham for the WWF title, ending Graham's run of, I think it was around a year or so. And a lot of people said this was a mistake. But a lot of that because Graham was over, and they said that they could have turned him babyface.
I mean, I've heard that, right? Haven't we talked about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And a lot of people said that, but, they said that the day they gave Graham the belt, they already had the date of him losing the belt. So,
wow.
But I think you call a audible.
I mean, especially, but you would think. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe we're not them, right?
And, they, senior love Backlund. I would at least see what more Graham could have did before putting it on Backlund.
Yeah, what was it? His plan? He really wanted a redheaded world champion. All-American.
All-American. Yeah, boy. Because you had you had your ethnic Bruno and then your Pedro. Now it was time to have a good All-American boy. I think that's what he was looking at.
Yeah.
So, but I just think from what I've read, that it might have been a mistake, but I don't know. All right, so now we're going to go to February 26, 1977. We're going to go to Puerto Rico. The Kangaroos, Al Costello and Don Kent, were given the WWC World Tag Team titles, and they were the first champions. So I couldn't find them about a tournament or everything. And from what I gather, when they came in, they made the belts and put them on them. So,
wow.
I thought that was pretty interesting, and because this was after Roy Heffernan and then Heffernan then left. This was the Don Kent version, which he was from I don't know where he's from. He worked for the Sheik forever, So and Gula. So he wasn't very Australian like Costello was. So, but he wore the whole gimmick and everything. So all right. So now we're going to go to this. I remember when this happened. I saw it in the magazine. Didn't see it on TV, but I remember this in the magazine. February 9th, 1982. We're going to go to Tampa, Florida. The Midnight Rider beat Ric Flair for the NWA World Title.
Man.
Now, everybody knows Midnight Rider's Dusty. He lost to Loser Leave Town.
Wait, hold on. What are you saying to me?
What?
You're saying the Midnight Rider was Dusty Rhodes?
I hate to break it to you, but yeah, it was, man.
Oh, my God. Spoiler. I'm just kidding.
But I remember seeing this in the magazine. So Dusty had lost to Loser Leave Town. They come back as Midnight Rider, and I know later on didn't. And then Barry Windham lost to Loser Leave Town and come back as the Yellow Dog.
Right.
There's Midnight Rider and Yellow Dog down the floor. Everybody knew it was Barry and Dusty.
And then one thing we talked about with Magnum was the Jesse James boys, the Frank and Jesse James.
Yep.
And they just rode off into the sunset. So
He got a couple of victories and then they were gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know when they did this, the photos of this and everything, but and I said I've had so much Florida TV. I probably had this on TV on tape sometime through the years. So they did a deal where Bob Geigel told the Midnight Rider that it's in the bylaws that NWA World Champion cannot have him wear a mask.
Mm.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, it's all that works.
Right.
So I'm assuming, So I'm assuming they. I'm sure. I don't know if it's ever used for it or not. I don't know. Anyway, and he told it either he had to give the belt back or unmask. He could keep the belt if he kept his mask on. I mean, he could keep the belt if he unmasked, but if he kept his mask on, he had to give up the belt. And if he did unmask and it was found to be Dusty Rhodes, he would be banned for life.
Yep.
So Dusty it ain't on his record as being a world champion as a Midnight Rider. So they did a big thing with that and everything. I'm sure it was good TV down there, So we're going to stay in Florida. We're going to go February 18th, 1987. We're going to Fort Lauderdale this time. Kevin Sullivan beats Bad News Allen for the CWF Southern Heavyweight title. And Sullivan was the last champ because Crockett bought Florida the month later.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sullivan and Bad News Allen were in a feud. And that night, it was some big card. I can't remember the name of it. They actually worked twice. The first was some kind of gimmick match. I don't know if it was if Sullivan won, he'd get a shot at Allen's title because they worked twice. It was some kind of so. But then he becomes champion. And like the next month they buy the territory and no more CWF Southern champion. So
sorry, Kev.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Hey, but we'll give you can be on the booking committee in a couple of years.
Yeah. You'll never touch gold again, but I mean, maybe a tag title here and there, but I can't remember.
Yeah. And then he had the NWA TV title, I think, maybe, or
yeah, man,
maybe. I don't know. Go look it up. I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
We can't do everything for you.
Yeah. Or just give you a little, give you a little something to run with. And take it there. All right. So this next one, this next one's a little personal. So, it's going to go to February 17th, 2001, Nashville, Tennessee, Sports Arena. Sweet and Sassy become the new Mid America Tag Team Champions.
Oh, there you go.
Won a 4-way elimination match over Ashley Hudson and Corey Williams, which is New South. Jeff Daniels and Tim Ernesto. And the last team was Shane Eden and Lance Dreamer.
Man, what a match. That's a bunch of guys to win it off of.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, the finish was, I think I was down.
Mm-hmm.
Or Farron was down. And then I think it came down to New South, Daniels Ernesto, and us. And then I think something happened where I was down, where I've been beat on, and I want to say New South and Ernesto and Daniels they got into and we slid over somehow.
Okay.
And won the belts, yeah. Yeah, and what's cool, I mean, I know it's a work and everything, but I think it's pretty cool because if you look at on Hera's title page, you go to the NWA Mid America Gulas, and then it goes down, and then it ends for the Mid America Tag Champions, like 1980. Then it starts back up at 2001, and there we are, the next name.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's a work, but it's pretty cool. I think that I got all these legends, and then my name's right underneath them.
Dude, totally. You should be proud of that. That's awesome, man. I mean, like you said, you're realistic. It's a work, but still, dude, they can't take that from you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun, and that's the first time I worked Tim Ernesto, and man, he got me right across the nose with a clothesline.
Is that the time you got your nose broke twice in 2 weeks?
No, that was later on.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, this was it was on the floor, and he come in, I fed in, he came in hot, and he's like, "Oh, sorry about that." I was like, "That's all right. I'm not bleeding. I'll be all right."
It probably knocked some tears in your eyes, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it woke me up a little bit, but
it ain't LA, right?
And it wasn't meant to. It wasn't intentional,
Right, so, of course. Yeah, he probably hit that 99% of the time. So yeah.
Just timing, because he comes in, so he's so fast, man. He was so fast, and just the timing wasn't there. Was in the people on the floor, and it just it happens. But and Corey Williams and Ashley Hudson, man, if nobody knows who those guys are, go look them up. I know they work for WCW some. They couldn't do the full gimmick, but you look at them. Go look at Bert's TV, Bert Prince's TV around that time, and even into Mike Porter's NWA TV. That gimmick was so awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, their work was those two guys. When you talk about gelling, those two guys gelled very well.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely go look those guys up. Look at some of their stuff.
Have invited both of them to be on the podcast, actually, and unfortunately they turned it down, but I would love to have you guys on anytime. If you change your mind, either one at a time or together would be incredible. So just let us know about that, Ashley and Corey, anytime you think about it. So
open invitation.
Open invitation. Yes.
Yep. All right, so now we're going to go to February 20th, 1986. We're going to go to Dallas, Texas. World Class leaves the NWA. So at the time, Rick Rude was the NWA America's Heavyweight Champion.
Okay.
Well, you're not NWA no more. You're starting your own gimmick. So what do? You make your top champion. You change the belt to become the new World Class World Heavyweight Champion.
Why not, right?
Yep. They left, so they made their own champion, and Rick Rude, that's a good choice,
Yeah, oh, totally. Was this the Gucci Rick Rude era, if I'm not mistaken?
Gucci.
He just, when he was with Paul Bear, gosh, I'm blanking. Yes. Percy Pringle. So sorry.
Yeah.
Smack me on the wrist for that one. So sorry. I remember this. People have called him Gucci Rick Rude. I think he was just pretty, slick at that time. So, yeah.
I don't know if he's Gucci Rick Rude. I don't know. It could have been.
I don't think it was official. I don't think it was official. I think it was just his look. Like I say, Pensacola Arn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was never his name. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
That probably was because he was he became world champ. He was their world champion, so I'm sure he wasn't wearing tank tops and coach's shorts.
Yeah, and coming out the Sade too, man. I love that.
Oh, baby. All right, let's see where we're at here. Okay, let me put that over there. All right. So now we're going to go to February 23rd, 1984. We're going to go to Tokyo, Japan. Jumbo Tsuruta beat Nick Bockwinkel for the AWA World title. It's in Bockwinkle's, 13-month, if you want to call it there. There was a little thing in Memphis with the belt with Lawler and that kind of thing. And then it rolled over into Hogan and Bockwinkel, which it goes. I think we've all talked about this sometime through the thing, where they put the belt on Hogan and then they took it off from him, and they didn't pull the trigger. So this was during that time period that Bockwinkel had the belt that we all talked. Didn't we talk about? Was this last month? We talked about how they should have pulled the trigger, and I think it was. We talked about what a Hulkamania when he went to New. If Vern would have put the belt on him, and what would have Vince done? Yeah, we talked. I think it was last month. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
We talked. Yeah, how that was a mistake and all that. So that was in between that. So they put it on Saruta. I remember this. We were getting AWA on ESPN by this time. I think it just started, or maybe sometime in Saruta's run. I remember seeing on ESPN. I kind of didn't really understand. Looking back, I mean, I guess they did it to have a better relationship with All Japan, I guess. But if you're breaking out just now, getting on ESPN, and you're all over the country, why would you put it on a Japanese star who's going to be he's going to have spend a lot of his time back in Japan?
Yeah.
You need that champion on your TV and be able to speak English.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I didn't understand it then as a kid or teenager, and not knowing how the business worked, and I really still don't understand it now.
Even after you do, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, and then they put it on Martel, which was a great looking babyface, but for some reason it just didn't. I don't know, because I've watched some Martel's Portland stuff, some old Atlanta stuff, and then even when he went to New York, it seemed like when he got to AWA, he just slowed down. He went to that slow, methodical, just old AWA pace. You know what I'm saying? 70s AWA pace. It seemed like from the match. It just didn't seem like I said. I've seen a lot of his Portland man because he was over up in Portland.
Yeah,
and then when he was in Georgia, him and Tommy Rich, oh my gosh, man, talking about over like Rover. So it just kind of seemed like it sounded like a good idea. Let's put this on Martel, but it just didn't. I don't know, man. Something like, did Vern just dumb him down? Maybe.
Yeah, he did seem a little vanilla, but that was kind of the whole thing there, wasn't it? AWA a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, but my thing is, you're on national TV now. You have Hogan blowing up with charisma, Flair with charisma, Dusty with charisma, and you got this guy who has charisma. I've seen it everywhere else, but it just didn't seem like it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he needed to break out of that white meat baby face, and then he became the model and became, amazing. You know what I mean? But
he was a really good heel.
Yeah, but like you said, he clearly had it in him, so yeah. Maybe it was Vince that had to bring it out.
Well, no, I mean,
maybe not.
I don't know. It just seemed that, I don't know, Vern, Bockwinkel, great technician and everything. I don't know. Their champions have always been that AWA style,
Yeah. Yeah,
I think Bockwinkel basically was probably the flashiest one. They had there in the for a while. It seemed, they're their standards,
Right.
And then Henning, man, talking about coming out of their shell. When they put that on Henning, he was white meat baby face, and you're talking about coming out of his shell and taking the ball and running with it. Because I didn't think when they put it on him, it turned him heel. I was like, is it? Is he really going to work as a heel? And he got over as he was really good. I thought. When he went to New York, it was different level. But in AWA, he really turned it up, and I think he progressed. So just blossomed.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder why they moved him to that singlet setup, or the butcher, or whatever they call that. The gimmick he started wearing the lime green, because early on in WWE. He was just wearing trunks, but
Yeah, he still had that the black and the white with that little design that.
yeah.
He still had his AWA trunks when he first. I don't know. Maybe Vince said, "Hey, let's," or maybe he said, "Let me try it out." Somebody, and it worked.
No, totally. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It was one of
Did you
those
ever
things
hear-
that worked for sure. Yeah.
Did you ever hear that his that the rumor? I don't know if it's a rumor that when they had the Mr. Perfect idea, and the first person they thought of was Terry Taylor.
Yeah, I've heard that. Bruce Pritchard or somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, Terry Taylor, excellent worker, great worker. Lord Humongous didn't like him, but he's
we don't know Terry, so we won't go with that. But
yeah,
you know.
that's why I said Humongous. According to Humongous, he didn't like him.
Yeah,
but as a fan, I used to really enjoy his work. He was a really good babyface. But I just don't. It wouldn't. I don't think he'd have pulled it off like Hennig did.
No. And I mean, I don't know that he deserved the Red Rooster gimmick, which I always thought was like a post color Flair. You know what I mean? When Flair got color, it always reminded me of the Red Rooster. But
you know, everybody talks about that. It's like, I can't believe they did that. But you know, I look at it as that is he will always be known.
Sure. Yeah.
Terry Taylor, even though he was a great worker, nothing stuck out about him. Yeah. They brought him up there, and it just nothing was. It wasn't there.
He was a little vanilla Ric Flair kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
just, had the robe and everything, but yeah, it just didn't. He was a gimmick without a gimmick, basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, they put that on, and everybody that knows anything about wrestling remembers the Red Rooster.
Right. Totally.
And he got paid.
He did get paid. He did. Yeah. And if you're looking at it from that perspective, I definitely understand what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
putting the Red Rooster on somebody else that's over, like, okay, put it this way. They say they put Mr. Perfect on Taylor and put the Red Rooster on Hennig.
Oh man. Yeah.
I mean, you know what? He would have got that over like a mug, though, man.
he probably would have. That's the funny part,
Yeah, but the whole thing is, people look down on it. But hey, they've had worse gimmicks. People have been given worse gimmicks up there than the Red Rooster.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, not many, but yeah, for sure. You're right.
There's been some,
Yeah, it's like top 10, but yeah, it's definitely not the worst. You're right about that.
I mean, it could have been Beaver Cleavage or whatever they got.
Oh, man, Vince Russo. Wow. Jeez. Gosh, and he's still in the business with the Juggalos now. I just saw that.
Yeah, I heard that he's working for them now. So good luck to all of them. Good luck to them.
Have fun.
All right. Now we're going to go to February 1st, 1978. We're going to go to San Antonio, Texas. Tully Blanchard beats Al Madrill for the Southwest TV title. And Tully was the first champion. Now, in February 79, they renamed the belt from the Southwest TV title. They renamed it to the Southwest Heavyweight Championship. So, but he was their first. They didn't have a heavyweight champion; they just had a TV champion, and then they renamed. And Al Madrill, and we found out last week that some people didn't like Al Madrill either, but I loved Al Madrill's work.
Right. And that's what we're going on, right? Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't talk about half these guys if we didn't love their work,
You got that right. Yeah. It's a lot of people we wouldn't be talking about if we just went by their actual personality instead of their actual work. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm still a fan of Al Madrill. I don't care what everybody says.
No doubt.
And his stuff in Portland, I don't know if it's going to air after the Portland thing is over with, but go check out his Portland stuff at the end of Portland. Al Madrill's was it something garden, Fiesta Garden or something, where he did a little. It's great stuff, man. It's really good stuff.
Well, y'all still have time. It is this Saturday, the Portland Wrestling Expo 2. Don't miss it.
Yep. Exactly. Don't miss it. Be
That's
there.
right. Be there, be square, all that.
You're listening to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, and we'll be right back after these messages.
CHW is continuing the legacy of historic professional wrestling in Tennessee with monthly events at the Armory in Ashland City. CHW owner Mike Green has made it his mission to present the best pro wrestling shows in the Nashville area, and he has been delivering the goods. CHW Wrestling combines all the elements that Tennessee wrestling fans have come to expect. Action, suspense, athleticism, reality, stories, surprises, and excitement, all delivered by the finest professional wrestlers this state has to offer. Follow CHW Pro Wrestling on Facebook for the latest news, announcements, and show dates. And subscribe to Championship Productions on YouTube to see past events like the Ashland City Rumble and the Valentine's Massacre. Fun for the whole family with delicious and affordable concessions on site. Witness the action and excitement of CHW in Ashland City at the Armory. Family Wars, Love and Hate, Championship Gold. A CHW event is everything you're looking for in a night of live entertainment.
All right, so now we're going to go to February 10th, 1982. We'll go to Memphis, Tennessee. Brian Christopher beats friend of the show, Tom Pritchard, for the USWA Texas heavyweight title. And Brian Christopher was the last USWA Texas champion because it was vacated later in 1982. This was the one, I guess, when they pull out of Texas, I guess because in the early 90s, man, Memphis had 27 belts, it seemed like, you know. So I could be wrong with this, but for some reason, I'm thinking this belt was the one they made from the old international belt that I just love, the international belt. Because they took one of the belts and they took the international belt and made it to one of their belts in the early 90s. I can't remember, they had so many, but I want to say it was their version of the Texas title they did that belt with, I think. I could be wrong, but because they had so many belts. But yeah, they brought that up and they kept it around for a while, I guess, because that was during the Tennessee Texas version of the feud when Embry came up with had the book in Memphis where they did the whole Texas and Tennessee thing up there. They did in Texas, and then when Jarrett pulled out of Texas, they brought it up here. I'm thinking they needed a Texas title to go along with the Texas people. So I guess I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. That makes sense, though. Yeah.
So all right. So now we're going to go to February 2nd, 1989. We're going to go to Kansas City, Kansas, to Memorial Hall. The WWA held the WWA International Bash. Okay. And I don't know if I think I've talked before, but a long, long time ago, WWA, this was not the Bruisers, WWA, or the old WWA in California. This is what Bob Geigel turned Central States into. And I think it was around maybe a year, maybe. Because remember, they left, kicked out or whatever, out of the NWA. So he started up WWA and had his world champion. I think it was Mike George, or Bulldog Brown, who knows. But so this was their attempt, and then they had some kind of working agreement with All Japan, because the main event was Jumbo Shruda and Yosha Ataki Yatsu beat Stan Hansen and Terry Gordy for the All Japan tag belts. So they actually a title change, a Japan belt changed on this show in Kansas City.
Okay.
But the way it looked, I looked at the card. It looked like it was all Japan and Kansas City office guys.
Okay.
And that was the main event. But there was another match on this card that I don't know if a lot of people, most people know about. And it was the first time they ever worked, only time they worked. The British Bulldogs versus the Rock and Roll Express. And it was a time limit draw.
Oh man, I love this match.
Have you seen the whole match?
I have, yeah. Yeah.
Where did you find it? I've always just found clips of it through the years.
It's on the Retro Wrestling Archive, Gene Jackson's YouTube channel. I'll find the clippings. Yeah, it's like a 30-minute match. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a time limit draw match.
Yeah.
And so another thing that was weird about this, they used the AWA ring.
Yeah, they did. You're exactly right. Yeah.
And this was filmed Japan TV. Was it Nippa whatever? I can't pronounce it.
Nippon Hall or something.
Yeah. So, but I don't. From what I know, there's no copy of the whole show.
The whole event. Got it.
Yeah, the actual event. I heard there's clips of it out there. Like I said, I've seen clips of the Bulldogs Express, but I heard there was not an actual whole show of it. So I don't know.
Okay.
And this was a flop. It drew 1,000 people.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. And Memorial Hall was a big building. So that was one of those shows where everybody got their own section.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
But if you look at the card, man, it's like, how could this not draw? Did Geico kill Kansas City so bad you can't bring in Gordy and Hanson and Jumbo, Bulldogs, Rock and Roll Express on top of your normal Kansas City guys and only draw 1,000 people? That's amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. No joke.
It's crazy.
But that match is awesome. I'm telling you this. I've seen it many times and watched it. I'll watch it to this day. It's incredible.
The clip form I've seen of it, the clip form is great. That's why I've always wanted to watch the whole thing. So I'm definitely going to have to go find that then.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Definitely want to watch because I've always wanted to watch. I've always just found clips, and from what I saw, it was amazing match.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so now we're going to go to February 10th, 1990. We'll go to Tokyo, Japan, to the Tokyo Dome. This was called New Japan Super Fight. I don't know if this was a first, but it was very rare. This was a card New Japan put on. It was their card. But the workers, the talent, was New Japan and All Japan talent. Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it's on TV or not. I know there was somewhere in the early to mid 90s. I remember there was a Tokyo Dome show. It had like New Japan, All Japan. I think it had Pancrase. Let's see what else. It's like a small promotion. Because I remember Billy Scott worked it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Gary's brother worked it. But that was I want to say 90, I want to say 94-ish maybe. But this is the first one I ever saw listed as their first combined show, just them two. Because, I mean, they were competition with each other. So
yeah, I've seen some clips, and Billy is wearing it out, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go check, just Google Billy Scott. And that's for people to know, that's Gary Valiant's brother. He started here in Middle Tennessee with Gary as the Scott brothers. But yeah, Billy went to Japan, and man, he was amazing. And he has a school up here, I do believe, still in Bowling Green, Kentucky, or in the Warren County area.
Really?
Yeah, because he was a student of Billy Robinson, from what I can remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he still has his school up here. It's a shoot school.
Okay.
It's not a wrestling school. It's a shoot school.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still up here. But yeah, so that was. I need to see if that show's out there somewhere, because I remember I saw the card and it looked pretty good. I know. Who was it? Bam Bam was on it. The only match that really stood out that was New Japan and All Japan against each other was Vader and Hanson. I don't know if it's the one where the eyeball gets ripped out or not, but that was the only one that really stood out of the two promotions, the two biggest stars going against each other.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I need to go look at it because I'm interested to see it now. So, all right, so we're gonna wrap this up. I don't know what our time is, but this is the last one I got. We're gonna go back to Memphis, Tennessee. We're gonna go to February 11th, 1985. Jimmy Hart leaves Memphis.
Oh.
Yeah, this was all set up. It's out there on YouTube. Go find it. Okay, Jimmy Hart actually did some stuff on Georgia TV when they had that morning show. Morning because I think they had the morning show because Georgia Wrestling had the morning. Then I think this was after they bought Vince got the thing in Atlanta. I think it's the same time because I remember he was on the Georgia Wrestling morning show because he actually talks about it in this interview he does. He goes out there to Lance Russell and they're blah blah blah, and Hart has a bag of flour. He throws some on Lance. Lance, cut it out. Good grief. The whole Lance voice. And they say Jimmy Hart pours the whole bag of flour on Lance.
No.
And Lance goes nuts and says, "You're suspended. Get out of here." And he's like, "You can't suspend me, Eddie Martin." He's like, "Eddie Martin's not here, so I'm in charge. You're suspended." But he's just covered in flour. It's great. And so Jimmy Hart was hired by Vince. So they had to do something. I mean, Jimmy Hart's been there for over 5 years. He just cannot be, yeah, he's getting suspended, but you can't,
Right.
You got to have a send off, right? Well,
yeah.
You do, but you don't.
Who says, right?
So on February 11th at the Mid-South Coliseum, the match, Eddie Gilbert was the Southern champion. Lawler was chasing him. So they had the deal for the main event was if Lawler wins, Jimmy Hart leaves Memphis for a year. And he wins the Southern title. Now, if Eddie Gilbert wins, he keeps the Southern title, and Jerry Lawler has to leave town. So they do the match. Lawler goes over. Jimmy Hart was not there. They had the look-alike Tommy something. Looked just like Jimmy Hart. Now, if you got close, you can tell what him. But then it's out there on video, and Lance even says it's not Jimmy Hart. He says it's Tommy something. I can't remember what it.
That's Tommy. Whatever. I can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, but so they did it because they said, well, Hart can't be there because he's suspended. So, but he was gone. He's already gone. But the fans didn't know he was going to New York. Nobody. I don't think half the boys did.
Oh man, that's wild.
I mean, because it just and they said he was the first guy from Memphis to leave to go to New York. Because it was before Savage. Savage was still in Memphis.
Man,
and Savage went just a little bit later. Wasn't much later, I don't think. But from what I can calculate in my head, just right off that, he was the first that the Memphis mainstay, or was working in Memphis at the time as a top guy that Vince grabbed up.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
man.
Yeah.
I mean, and that reminds you of the AWA and all the guys that they took from there that we just talked about with like the Hulkster and Gene and Bobby the Brain. And then you got Jimmy Hart, gone. And Jimmy Hart was pretty figured into everything, wasn't he? So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, and for him, I mean, he had been there, since late 78, maybe?
Right.
So he had his run, it needed a break.
It did.
It still worked. He was still, but they said it would be good for a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
For him to get away. And I think that's why I think he might have did some of that Georgia stuff. Maybe they were fishing around maybe to see. I don't know. Because I hadn't looked all into it.
Man, that would have been interesting because if he'd ended up going to Crockett instead of, wow, that's interesting too to think about.
I don't think he would have fit in at Crockett.
I don't think he would have either. I agree.
It wouldn't have worked at Crockett.
No, he had to go to the WWE. He was so fit for that,
Yeah, for what they were building for, the entertainment value.
Yeah.
Only places he could have worked were Memphis and New York, WWF.
Right.
Georgia Championship Wrestling was still, Ole was still, it's like he went down there and been a top manager for Ole. It just, it wouldn't happen. Like I said, Crockett's wouldn't work. Could he went to Dallas? Yeah, but it wouldn't have been, I think Percy was there in 85. So Percy would have been, he couldn't have took over Percy. Now, they probably could have shared jackets.
Yeah, seriously. I was going to say, because, I mean, Percy was like a blend kind of Bobby and Jimmy a little bit. Not to say that was like something he thought, like, I'm going to be Bobby and Jimmy together, but it was kind of that flamboyant. And, in Crockett, the most flamboyant manager you had was J.J. Dillon. And I mean,
exactly,
her baby doll, maybe, but
I'll see him going to Florida. Humperdinck. You ain't going to take over for Humperdinck. Humperdinck was embedded down there, so
wouldn't have fit the AWA either. So
no, way too much entertainment for AWA.
Yeah,
they're too. It's and no way it would work in Watts.
Right.
And Portland wasn't a big manager gimmick.
No.
You know that? You think about it, some of all the stables and stuff were wrestlers.
Yeah.
You had Buddy Rose's Army, Oliver's Clan.
The Breakfast Club. You didn't have managers.
I don't remember any really managers being up there for a stay. I don't think they ever did have anybody. It might have been had some back in the 60s, maybe 70s, but late 70s and all through the 80s. I don't remember them having a full-time heel manager up there.
Me either. Yeah, I don't either.
That's crazy. I just thought about that. They didn't.
Yeah,
because everybody had a group or a faction, or we're gonna call it, was a wrestler led by a wrestler.
I mean, there's a good theory there for that. Makes sense. It's utilizing your guys even if they're not in the ring. That's pretty smart, actually. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm a manager guy, but you've been a manager. I've been a manager. We love managers, but that's a good
But it worked up there.
It definitely did, especially if you want to keep overhead low too. So you want to pay another guy or you want to pay a manager, and that makes sense. So like with you can wrestle, right? So you're like a two-way guy.
I don't know. Some people said I couldn't. So.
Well, we're not listening to them today, but
I know what you're like.
Yeah. But I mean, like for me, I was just a manager. I could bump a little, but I'm not a wrestler. So it's like, you're gonna go with the two-way guy, especially if you're focused. I mean, that's why it makes sense to have a guy who can wrestle and manage. So
I wished I didn't think about it at the time. Hart was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
He had turned on the white boys.
Yeah,
and was Lynn Denton made the save and come out to help Lance with the flour all over him. I wish if we ever get Lynn Denton back on, we need to ask him about that.
Yeah, that's definitely put that in the back of your brain because we'll get Lynn back.
Yeah, he came out. It was just him.
Yeah.
He came out and because the white boys are feuding with Jimmy Hart's Eliminators.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's cool.
So he was there when the whole flower gimmick happened. So all that stuff's on YouTube somewhere. Just check it out. It's good stuff, But,
yeah. I love that Jimmy Hart First Family stuff. I just love all that. It's so good. I mean, it was like brand new wrestling to me because I didn't grow up with it. So when I was kind of, doing the Live and in Color with Wolfie podcast, like I was learning so much excellent stuff about Memphis during that. It was like a reawakening of my wrestling fandom, So
when he left Memphis, I mean, they tried to every manager they brought in.
Mm-hmm.
They did good.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in, was it Tux Newman, which was Jeff Walton, which was LaBelle's, worked in the office for LaBelle's in California. He was the right-hand man.
Mm-hmm.
He was Tex Watson up here. Tex, what did I say his name was? Tex Watson.
Tex Watson.
Tex Watson, that's the Manson people.
Yeah. Tex
Tex Newman.
Tex Newman.
Tux Newman. Tux. I'm way off. Yeah. Well, see, I've been watching Mindhunter.
Oh, love that show. Yeah.
Oh, that was great, wasn't it? And I guess because I watched it the other day, and the episode was when they interviewed Tex Watson. So I guess but it was Tux Newman was Jeff Walton.
Okay.
Yeah. And he came in. They had
Ronnie P.
Well, that was I'm trying to think. After Tux Newman, what's the guy who was with the Mod Squad?
Oh.
What was that guy's name? He only managed them, and I don't think he went anywhere else. When they left, I don't think he went with them. I can't remember what his name was. Oh man, he was not bad at all. They carried the Mod Squad rule book around. Oh, what was that guy's name? He was good. He was pretty good. And then they brought Bruno in, and at the time, I was not even after I got smart, I wasn't really a fan of Bruno.
J.D. Costello.
J.D. Costello, that's it. Yep. He wasn't bad, but he just vanished. Now Bruno come in, like I said, and then even after I was smart, I don't know, but after me and JP watched the 87 year of 87 Memphis, Bruno was very underrated. He was really good.
Yeah.
He was a little different. He wasn't Jimmy Hart. He had his own stick.
Definitely.
And then Ronnie P. But I tell you the one I think gets overlooked big time, a Memphis manager, and I think he was so good and so underrated, was Scott Bowden.
Oh, yeah, Scott Bowden. Yeah.
He didn't look like the typical manager. He was like, 6'4" or whatever?
6'4", young, too, young.
But he was really good, and I think because it was a downtime in Memphis that he gets overlooked. But I thought he was really good.
And then, of course, became Brandon Baxter, too. There was another guy that came along.
Brandon Baxter was in there. There was a guy from Windy, I think it was Windy City they tried for a while, Ronnie Lotz.
Yeah, Ronnie, I remember that name.
And it didn't work. I think his accent was just too thick. And I think even it was beyond getting heat off the accent. I don't know. People just didn't. I don't know. It didn't work out. I don't know if it. I don't think he was there that long. Maybe it might have worked out. He would have got there stayed a little longer. Maybe I don't know. But and then and you can't forget Boss Winters and Nate the Rat.
Yeah, Nate the Rat.
The jobber. They had the enhancement talent managers. I mean, they knew their role and they played it perfect.
Yeah.
Boss Winters come out there with Rough and Ready. This is the day Rough and Ready's going to win. It's today. I feel it. It's today.
Yes. You can't forget about Richard Lee either. Let's just.
Oh. Yeah. He was.
Moondogs.
He started out in the Ghoulish UWA.
Okay.
Yeah, he started out there, and he started as I want to say ref. No, he started as a manager, and then they turned him to commentator. I don't know. It was weird because he was like it seemed like he did everything for that Ghoulish. Whatever they needed him, he was a manager for a while. He did some announcing for a while. But yeah, when he went to Jarrett's as the Moondogs guy, he got showcased.
Yeah.
Really got showcased, and he worked well with the gimmick of the Moondogs.
Yep.
He really did really well with them. Because Bruno had the Moondogs in '87,
right?
But I guess because Bruno managed so many other people, it was just there. But yeah, Richard Lee really, he did really well with the Moondogs, and he could talk. Boy, you talking about a talker.
He could sing too, actually.
Oh yeah. He was a singer, writer, and everything.
Yeah, man. I love talking to them old Memphis managers. Q, I'm glad you brought that up. Great show today, brother. February fed us well. It's a short month, but honestly, lots of great wrestling and huge events happened in February, man. So great show, Q. Really appreciate it.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
And this has been
This month in wrestling history with Quinton Quarisma.
All right, that was the awesome This Month in Wrestling History, Episode 8, with our buddy Quinton Quarisma. We'll be right back to wrap things up on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling after these messages.
Listen up, you bunch of slack-jawed flea market freeloaders. If you think you know Memphis wrestling, you don't know nothing till you've heard the Retro Wrestling Review podcast, brother. Every week they're talking the real stuff. Lawler, Jarrett, PG-13, yeah, and even my Moondogs. Watch along, stories from the road, interviews with folks who were in the thick of it, brother. The blood, the beer, and the bail money. It's all on the Wrestlecopia Podcast Network. Go to uswapodcast.com or I'll come down there and I'll slap the taste out of your mouth.
The moondogs are having the moondogs are having the moondogs are vicious and mean. Tonight the moondogs are looking for trouble, and you can hear it in their scream. So stay out of the swamp, 'cause the full moon is shining big and bright, and you might run into a moondog and meet your fate.
Hi, this is Mike Needham, host of the Reckless Abandon Podcast with Mike Needham. We invite you to jump on your favorite podcast platform and search for the Reckless Abandon Podcast and give us a listen. I'm sometimes joined by a part-time podcaster, part-time co-host, and full-time wife, Tiffany Nicole. We talk wrestling, we talk pop culture, we talk local events, local happenings in West Tennessee, and a ton of other stuff. But be sure to check out the Reckless Abandon Podcast. Find us on Facebook. Also, look up the Microgroup Podcasting family on Facebook and see some of our other podcasts we have out there. Until next time, make good choices and always remember, no dollar, no dice.
Oh, guys, man, thank you so much, Q. That was awesome as always. He always does a great job with his episodes. He researches it. He goes deep on these shows, man. So we're very happy about that. And that was awesome. Just so cool. Lots of Japan, some WWF, some NWA. It covers it all. Of course, some Goulas. It's always good. So thank you, Q. Great episode. Can't wait to hear what March is bringing. Guys, of course, once more this weekend, it's Captain's Corner Portland Wrestling Expo 2. And of course, it is this Saturday, February 21st, the Holiday Inn, Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. It's going to have Dr. Tom Pritchard. It's going to have Jules Strongbow. It's going to have Paul Ellering. It's going to have the grappler, Lynn Denton. It's going to have Dave Sullivan. It's going to have Joey Jackson. So many people. I can't even mention all the other names, plus the Hall of Fame. Just go. It's this weekend. Do not miss it, guys. Go Portland Wrestling Expo 2. Tell everybody that Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling sent you when you're there. And again, while we're at it, GrappleCon 4 back to Lutz, April 11th, Residence Inn, Tampa Suncoast Parkway, 2101 North Point Parkway, Lutz, Florida. We just talked to Lord Humongous, Chick Donovan. It's also going to have the King, Jerry Lawler. It's going to have Dutch Mantel. I think some the Mountie, some other great stars. Gimmick Mania is the deal. So head on down to Lutz in April. Don't miss that. And we're going to have some more guests to talk to about that. I'm positive of that. Guys, one more thing before we go. I would love to ask for your continued prayers for our buddy Wild Boy Ben Jordan. He is battling. His fight is not over, so just keep praying for him. He needs them, and we really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the prayers you've already said, but just keep saying them, because we love Ben, and Ben needs them. So thank you all so much for that. Guys, next episode, I'm not going to spill the beans here, but it's going to be awesome. I guarantee that. We got some really cool things coming up, so y'all just keep your eyes peeled for that. You can find out all the news that is the news on @GMBMPW, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or X. Thank you all so much for liking, sharing, supporting, following, whatever. But most importantly, family, we just really appreciate you all for listening. That means the world to us, and it always will. So thank you again. Once again, thanks to Quinton for his excellent This Month in Wrestling History, and we'll see y'all next time on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Don't forget,
we're back, and we're going to be in the ring and have our first look on championship wrestling at the Iranian Assassin coming up in just a few moments. I did want to get manager Jimmy Hart out here to talk to him a little bit, because I think most of you know, some of you may not know, but I will tell you right now that an unfortunate accident befell Jerry the King Lawler, the world heavyweight champ, in that he broke... Jimmy, okay, Jim. In the fact that Lawler did break his leg. He broke both bones about 6 inches below the knee in the right leg, and a major event. Now, I don't think any of us deny, maybe this man will deny, about the tactics that Lawler uses and that sort of thing, but still, he did break his leg. It was an unfortunate thing, and as obviously a great wrestler in the background. We've asked Jimmy, who long before he became the manager, as a matter of fact, was probably Lawler's closest friend and confidant. He was at ringside before he ever became a manager because of his genuine interest in there. We've called him a cheerleader because he's there rooting Lawler on, of course, in the role of manager. He has been more active, if you know what I mean, in the campaign of Lawler, but nobody, I think, is any closer to Jerry. And regardless of what our personal feelings on it, we wanted to go to, so to speak, the horse's mouth and find out from Jerry's closest friend what the conditions of Jerry Lawler and his broken leg.
Are you finally through? Are you through? It's right. Jerry Lawler broke his leg. Big deal, man. Big deal. You know who broke his leg? I'm telling everybody. Jerry Calhoun, baby. Broke the man's leg. Now, listen, I don't want to talk about that anymore. Let me ask you something, man. If you have a prize racehorse, a thoroughbred, a champion, and he breaks his leg, what do you do to him? What do you do to him, lads? You shoot him, right? Jerry Lawler is no good to me anymore. Oh. He can't make me any more money, baby. Money? The future is now.
Come on.
He's on you.
All right,
so listen, don't ever talk about him in front of me again. You understand that? I'm serious.
I am not believing what I'm...
Believe it or not, but this is the future, baby, and Jimmy Hart's here, and Jerry Lawler's not, okay? Now I want to talk about some guys that I have in my stable of championship wrestlers, baby. This is the newest addition, the Iranian Assassin. You see him? What do you mean, boo? Oh, you jerks, man. Listen, this man's father owns half a dozen oil wells. You know what? I get my gas free now, baby. I get my gas free. You understand that? But let me tell you something about him. This man was signed by Sonny King. I took a look at him Monday night at the Coliseum. Super, man. I had to have him, so I got with Sonny, and I said, listen to me, Sonny. I'll make a deal with you. So to make a long story short, I am now the proud owner of the Iranian Assassin, and Sonny King owns 25% of his old man's oil well. Is that a good deal, or is that a good deal?
You say so, Jimmy.
But this is just one of the studs, baby, in my stable. Let me tell you about somebody else, Paul Ellering, the world's strongest man. The world's strongest. You know what? Bo Derek is a 10, right? He is the male Bo Derek, baby, but he's a 15. He's the man with the most beautiful body in the world. And he also, to go along with that, the man also holds the world record in the power lift, 925 pounds. But last but not least, man, in my stable, handsome Jimmy Valiant, baby, the Southern Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, the man who's the greatest attraction in the world. He is the greatest attraction in the world, and I'm the manager of the greatest attraction in the world.
Okay, Jimmy, we've heard all about your stable in there. I never did get the answer to the question that I was asking you a little bit ago. You told us all about your stable of the Iranian Assassin and Paul Ellering and handsome Jimmy Valiant.
But wait, one more thing. But the big news, baby, the big news right here is today, one of my 3 stallions, baby, is going to come the new king of professional wrestling. The new king. Oh. It's either going to be the Iranian Assassin, Paul Ellering, or last but not least, handsome Jimmy Valiant, baby.
Gonna crown.
And I'll show you what this guy's going to do right now. Championship material.
Wish you would.
With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
This has been a James Rock Street production.